Have you ever been to a restaurant when you sit down and you look at the menu and you find yourself doing the same thing that you've done each and every time that you've sat down at a restaurant? Whether it's a new restaurant or it's an old restaurant, you look at the menu and you see some things that are familiar. Maybe it's certain types of food. It's chicken or other types of meat, seafood or vegetarian dishes. But you find yourself asking the question, what do I choose? And you look at some of the things that you're most comfortable with. So you go with some of the things that resemble some of the food that you are used to eating at home, or the things that you default to each and every time you go to a new restaurant. So how does this relate to choosing a domain name, a personal domain name, or a business domain name? Well, when you're at a restaurant, you at some point have that decision time. There is a set time that you have. Well, it's not actually set in stone, but there is this expectation when the waiter or the waitress comes to your table that at some point you're going to make an order. You're going to place an order and you're going to commit to it, right? And when we're in that situation, it seems to be very low, a low risk and low investment, depending upon what kind of restaurant you go to. So if you go to a very fancy restaurant, there's more up front. You want to make sure you get the best thing that tastes good and that you're going to enjoy for the money that you're paying. Well, when you're choosing a domain name and you're struggling between personal and business, people tend to find themselves having such indecision and such analysis paralysis that they never make a choice, right? Because there's no one telling them that, hey, you need to make your order now, or you have to get up and get out of the restaurant so that other people can come and order something, other paying customers. So what the best way to really choose a personal or versus a business domain name is to do just that. Put a stake in the ground and say, look, I have to make a choice, make the choice, and you make adjustments along the way. So anyway, I hope that analogy kind of helps you look at the decision-making process. And it's not just with choosing a personal and business domain name. If you're doing anything online in the form of creating something or some sort of business, there are a lot of decisions that have to happen. And if you don't make those decisions, no one else is going to do it. When you're in a regular job that you work for someone or you work for a company, there's a boss that you have to answer to. There are decisions that have to be made. And if they don't, that directly reflects your performance. So as an entrepreneur, you don't have that. So it's really important to try to get in the habit of thinking that you have a boss. And really, truly you do. If you have customers, if you have an audience, they essentially are your boss. So without further ado, I want to get into choosing a domain name versus business. Personal names. So we'll start off with personal names, right? So a personal name is great because it allows you the freedom to use it as your home base, right? So a good buddy of mine, Matthew Bivens, and I'll link to a really awesome program that he and his wife actually worked on, and she's really been driving it. And it's a balance breakthrough program that will allow you to really look at your life and build more balance into it. Because as entrepreneurs or as parents or as busy working professionals, it's really tough in today's world to really have that balance. So check that out in the links in the show notes. But when it comes to your home base, getting back to this discussion I had with Matthew is, having your own domain name allows you the freedom to post all of your projects, everything that you're working on, as sort of this is my central place of sharing all the projects that I am working on and sharing the successes and failures along that journey. And it'll evolve over time just as you do, right? So that's one great way or great reason to actually choose a personal name. So the next bullet point is personal is great because, well, it's you, it's personal, right? So nobody can be a better you than you. And I know that sounds a little weird, but a little funny, but it's true. So, you have that unique ability to connect with people in a way that nobody else does. Whether you believe that or not, it's just a matter of taking action and putting yourself out there as such. So, when we're looking at this, there's really no cons to choosing, say, a personal name like, MatthewBivens.com or SarahBivens.com or DannyLiu.com. But what it's really good to look at is, what do you intend to use it for, right? And so again, choosing a personal name, having a central place to share your projects that you work on over time, and it will evolve over time. So the way I like to look at this is in the third bullet point. Also, having a personal sort of domain name can lead to other project topics that people will want to learn about from your personal side of your life that can lead to be working with people in different markets and different topics that you never even thought of. So it's all about that social connection and really working with other people that having a personal brand will allow you to do. The other thing is, to look at this is that there are no cons. Whether you want to choose a personal domain name or a business domain name, look at it as the glass is full, even if there's only 50% in the cup, because you're always going to feel that things are not perfect. And that's okay, because if they were, then you probably wouldn't be doing what it is that you're doing, right? So, now that's really, in a nutshell, that's it for personal. I mean, there's so much more that you could talk about. We could talk about as far as personal, the benefits of choosing a personal domain name versus not. One of the concerns that people have is, well, I can't sell it. If it's my personal domain name, I can't sell it. But my question to you is, well, why would you want to, right? You are using that as your business card, as your online resume in a way, right? And that's not something you want to sell. It's something you want to build and grow with over time. Right? Now, it's different when we're talking about business, a business domain name, a totally different story, because you're having a business domain name is great because it allows you to have an exit strategy, right? So if you are, you're building a company around physical products or, some other service that is bigger than you, then that's fine, because you can always sell it to someone else and not have to be part of it anymore, and people would be none the wiser, unless of course they knew you were the owner and operator of it before. So that's one thing that business names, domain names allow you. The other one is, business is great because you can identify with a group of people around a common interest, and a good example would be like kite flying, if you like to fly kites, right? So, or if you fly drones, and it's something that you can connect with around a centered, really niche topic that, even if you weren't there, people would still be talking about that topic because that's what they're there for, right? So then the third point that I have here is that business is great because you have the opportunity to really truly focus on any single area and dive even deeper into that. So, you can let's say we started off with drones, and that's kind of a niche topic, but then you could say drones for drones for fishermen, or drones for surfers, something like that, like something more specific in this sub niche. So say that we teach people how to shoot really great video from your drones, right? So you can get really specific, and when you do that, you're creating more relevant content and really separating yourself from your competition. And when you get to that point and you build an audience, you provide services, products, and just really connect with your audience to figure out what it is that they're even more passionate about and talking about within those subtopics, right? So in conclusion, there really isn't a clear, obvious choice when it comes to choosing a personal versus business name, but instead, both. Why not choose both? You have the ability to slowly build out your own personal domain name, to centralize all the things that you're working on. And when you do latch onto a really big project or passion project, you can share that journey using on your business, your personal domain name, and share that with your audience, right? So, and I'm just speaking from, someone who's like been in your exact shoes, pondering for way too long, longer than I like to admit, which one do I choose? And, at the end of the day, I ended up choosing both, and I'm, currently building out my own personal domain name in addition to blackbeltentrepreneur.com. So, I hope this, is a help in helping you discover, what you're going to do, how to really kind of just take that first step. As long as you're consistent with documenting, and creating new content, you're going to be in, good company, and you're going to eventually build an audience, and, you're going to be able to help people and serve your audience in ways that you never even knew that you could. So, get started, and I wish you the best of luck. And if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and click the subscribe button and get more tips, tools, and strategies on how to become more effective and efficient in your online business. Take care.